Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to revise the topic nutrition. So let us first define nutrition. Nutrition is defined as a process by which living beings procure food or synthesize it and change it into simple, absorbable form by a series of biochemical processes. Now, nutrition, there are two modes of nutrition, autotrophic mode and heterotrophic mode. Now, in the autotrophic mode, as it is shown here, there are two types, photoautotrophic mode and chemoautotrophic mode. In the photoautotrophic mode, we talk about photosynthesis, and in the chemoautotrophic mode, it is chemosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process in which plants trap solar energy and then manufacture their food in the form of simple sugar from inorganic compounds like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll. And in chemoautotrophic mode, the organisms make use of chemical energy released during oxidation of simple organic compounds to prepare their food. Here we can have examples of sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria, nitrosomonas, etc. And in the heterotrophic mode, we have holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition, symbiotic mode of nutrition, and saprophytic mode of nutrition. In the holozoic mode, what happens? The feeding of complex organic matter by the ingestion and then followed by digestion, and then it is absorption. Then in the parasitic mode, organisms live outside or inside the body of other organisms and derive their nutrition from or the nourishment from the host. So this mode of nutrition is called parasitic mode. Then we have the symbiotic mode, when two organisms live in close association with each other and pool together their nutritional resources. And then we have the fourth one, that is your saprophytic mode, whereby the organisms derive their nourishment from the dead and decaying organic matter. Such organisms are called saprophytes, and we can have examples like mushroom, mold, yeast, etc. Now coming to the autotrophic mode, here the diagram illustrates the process of photosynthesis, how photosynthesis takes place. So can we define photosynthesis? We can simply say that photosynthesis is a process of manufacture of food whereby the transformation of the photonic energy, that is the light or the radiant energy, takes place into chemical energy. And in this, what happens? Chlorophyll is the site, water and carbon dioxide act as raw materials, and what is the byproduct? The byproduct is oxygen. And what is the formation? The starch is the molecule which is formed. Now the starch formed is stored in the plant, and you know, as we have already discussed, that with iodine starch turns dark blue. The iodine test we have performed in the different activities to check the presence of starch. Now in the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we have already learnt about the nutrition in amoeba, how the process of digestion, ingestion, then your digestion, then your absorption, assimilation and egestion takes place in amoeba. So all those steps are demonstrated in this flow chart. So amoeba takes food with the help of pseudopodia. Then that food which is ingested is taken inside the food vacuole. Then the enzymes from the surrounding cytoplasm go to digest it, and then all the undigested material accumulates at one place, and then it moves to the cell surface, and then it is thrown out. So that's in this way the nutrition in amoeba takes place. Now if we talk about the nutrition in human beings, then we know that the nutrition in human being is little complex, but again here also it happens in all those 5 steps. So let us start from the beginning. In the mouth, the salivary glands are there which secretes the salivary amylase, and that changes the starch into sugar. And teeth has got the chewing and the grinding effect on the food, and the tongue has got the rolling action on the food, and it also has got taste buds which helps us to taste the food. Then the food passes from the mouth through the esophagus by the peristaltic movement, and it goes and reaches the stomach. In the stomach, the gastric glands secrete the gastric juice. Gastric juice contains pepsin, HCl and mucus. Pepsin breaks down proteins, HCl makes the medium acidic, and mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach. From the stomach, the food goes into the small intestine. The first part of the small intestine receives the opening of the bile duct and the pancreatic duct, and the liver, that is the bile, and the pancreas, that is the pancreatic juice. Both these juices are poured over there. And then the intestinal enzymes as such are also secreted locally. So they all act on the different types of food. So in which the carbohydrates are converted into glucose, fat is converted into fatty acid and glycerol, proteins are converted into amino acid. Pancreatic juice contains trypsin, which converts proteins into peptones, and lipase, which converts the emulsified fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Now this emulsification process, what is it? Actually the large fat molecules are broken down, emulsified by the bile juice into small fat globules, so that your fat digesting enzyme lipases can act on them easily. Then the large intestine, food reaches the large intestine where all the absorption of excess water takes place, and then whatever is left over is stored temporarily in the rectum, and then it's passed outside through the anus. So the same thing again demonstrated over here, and the same reactions are just broken down. Mouth, intake of whole food. Teeth helps in chewing and grinding action. Tongue helps in the rolling activity and tasting of the food, and salivary glands helps in the making it slippery, and helps us in swallowing it and pushing down the food. Salivary glands secrete saliva, and saliva has got salivary amylase that converts starch into maltose. In the stomach, the gastric juice is secreted. It has got 3 components. Pepsin breaks down proteins, HCl makes the medium acidic, and mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach. Here, this is a colorful diagram just to demonstrate the different processes of digestion along with the organs. It is shown here. The liver is shown, the stomach is shown, the pancreas is shown, and the first part of the small intestine, that is your duodenum, is also shown. Now liver produces bile, which is stored in this green colored structure, that is your gallbladder. Bile breaks down the large lumps of fat into small lumps, and that helps and also helps to neutralize the acid of the stomach, as it is alkaline in nature. Pancreatic amylase breaks down the starch into maltose. Pancreas produces lipase, amylase and trypsin. These are the 3 enzymes. Pancreatic lipase breaks down fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Trypsin breaks down polypeptides into amino acids. In the intestine, what all things happen? In the intestine, all the three forms of food are present over there: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So carbohydrates are broken down and into the simplest form, glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, proteins into amino acids. Now small intestine has got finger-like projections called villi, which helps in the absorption of food into the blood. And small intestine receives all the secretion from the liver, that is your bile juice, and the pancreas, that is your pancreatic juice. So pancreas containing trypsin and lipase. Everything is just shown in the form of a chart. Here it is a summary of all the enzymes and the substrates on which they act and what are the end products. So the digestive organ. Now the mouth, having salivary glands, produces salivary amylase. It acts on starch and produces maltose. Breaks down starch into maltose. Stomach is the next place. Gastric juice is secreted. It contains pepsin, acts on proteins and breaks down the proteins into peptides. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains three enzymes: amylase, trypsin, and lipase. Amylase acts on starch, converts them into maltose. Trypsin acts on proteins and converts them into peptides. And lipase acts on fats and converts them into fatty acids and glycerol. Then the small intestine has got all these kinds of enzymes: lipase, maltase, sucrase, peptidase. So the fats, the food acted upon is the lipase acts on fats and converts them into fatty acids and glycerol. Maltase acts on maltose and converts it into glucose. Sucrase acts on sucrose and converts it into glucose and fructose. Peptidase acts on peptides and converts it into amino acids. So this is a brief summary of all the digestion process that goes on in the alimentary canal of a human being. Thank you. That's all for now.